Stupid is as stupid does. That's what I wrote in the comment section of my last video, The Age of Stupid, and this is part 3. We're not stupid people. Most people have a reasonable intelligence. We wouldn't call us stupid, but do humans do stupid things? I would argue that we do all the time. Almost all of us, from some occasion or another, we do something kind of stupid. Some people may be very, very minimal. Maybe once a year they do something stupid. Other people, hundreds of times. You know, it just depends on the person. But I don't think that we are stupid people simply because we make mistakes in our life. That's common to make mistakes. You learn from your mistakes, you're smart. If you keep repeating that same mistake over and over and over, and you don't understand you're making a mistake, I would argue that's stupid. That's kind of essentially what Albert Einstein said. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So let's just take an example. I like to go back to television. I believe if you're watching television, it is lowering your IQ, your intelligence. It's dumbing you down. If you watch any television at all, any TV, network TV, cable, satellite, streaming, whatever, Netflix, HBO, Showtime, any of that, network TV in America or anywhere, probably anywhere in the world for that matter, certainly in the United States. The main goal of television is to indoctrinate, to brainwash you and sell you products. That's all there is to it. You know, there's a little entertainment thrown in, fluff, you know, of course there's entertainment value for many people. They see it as entertainment. Many people still watch television, spectator sports, view that as entertainment. What's the entertainment value for someone? I would argue that mainly it's because most events are live. If you watch a live event, there's that element of surprise. You don't know what's going to happen. You have a rooting interest on a team. Maybe you're gambling, betting on the team, whatever it is. People enjoy watching sports. They like to see people hit and punch each other. Football, boxing, all these kinds of things. Karate. And is that stupid? I could argue it is. It's stupid to watch television spectator sports. But on the other hand, if it has some entertainment value and you feel like you're getting some pleasure and enjoyment out of it, you know, maybe it's not the stupidest thing you can do. Obviously, I would agree with that. There's many more stupid things you can do than watching television, but that's got to be down there pretty low on the list of stupid things that people do, watching television. We watch commentators and pundits and people and newscasters, and we believe these people. Implicitly, you're in an alpha state of mind, and so implicitly you kind of absorb, your subconscious absorbs the information and takes it in as truth, in fact, even though time and time again it's proven it's not. It's bogus. So much of the news is just misinformation, disinformation, distortions of the truth, emphasizing things that are really not relevant or important to most people's lives, but they want you to have a certain amount of fear about it. And certainly the whole thing with the viral and the lockdowns was all about fear. Mass formation, that's another subject you could look up. How they're inducing a mass psychosis of people, a mass hypnosis, if you will, creating an element of anxiety by repeating the same messages by official people in little suits and ties and groomed down hairdos and ladies all dressed up in nice makeup, beautiful, and telling you in an intelligent sounding way, this is what's happening in the world and you better be afraid. Be afraid, be very afraid. And people fall right into that trap because it's an easy one to fall into. I did. I watched television for a good 60 years of my life. I've been off TV for over 5 years now, and I'll guarantee you, your life will change radically when you quit watching television. Also getting off social media. Only been off social media almost 2 months now. Really, really a good decision on my part. I'm so moving in the right direction finally. And what I've begun to do is start reading books again. I have lots of books, quite a few of them I haven't read yet, so now's the time to dig in. No time like the present, right? And I'm learning a lot from these books. I'm grounding myself more and more every day in spirituality and spiritual practice. That's bringing me so much more good feeling within and without, that I'm able to extend better positive feelings and emotions and vibes to my loved ones. I'm not being as stressed out and argumentative and anxious about things, sleeping a lot better. My weight is good, my digestion's good. I'm feeling wonderful and I'm laughing a lot more. Since I quit using marijuana, cannabis, weed, whatever you call it, back on December 4th, so it's been almost 11 weeks now. I'm committed to go sober the rest of my life. No more weed. I used it daily for 41 years. I certainly did enjoy it. It certainly wasn't one of the smartest things I did. I have to admit that. So I believe that us getting ourselves out of the hole we're in right now of just being anxious every day about the concerns about the world at large and how our liberties and freedoms are being impeded, impeached upon, stepped on, crushed, destroyed, wiped out. The way we're going right now in the United States of America, freedom may just be a lost memory that people are going to talk about like, the good old days when we had freedom. Because we don't have as much freedom today as we did in the recent past. I'm talking about like 20 years ago when the Patriot Act was passed. And now they keep twisting that knife in our back more and more and more every day, crushing the middle class. The whole economy is going to tank sometime in the next year or two. I'm pretty sure of that. So I'd be prepared. I'd invest in gold and silver. I'd have a generator in case the grid goes down. I'd have a weapon just for protection. And I'd have a lot of food stored away and water and provisions, those kind of things, basically prepping stuff. But all I'm trying to say tonight is that if, the people at the top, they're not stupid. They know what they're doing up there, but they are also evil, corrupt people. I'm talking about people in charge of corporations today, the major corporations, religious institutions, the government for sure, pharmaceutical business, medical industry, the medical industrial complex. I'm not saying all physicians are bad people. Nurses are still ranked as one of the highest respected professions there is in the United States. Doctors come somewhat lower. Doctors are getting a bad rap today because a lot of them aren't really practicing medicine in the vein that it originally was meant to. That is, do no harm. Do no harm was the first ethical posit of medical practice. And it's called practice for a reason. They're practicing on you all the time. There's no end-all scientific solution to all illnesses and diseases. Medical science is always still exploring new ways because there's many, many chronic conditions that allopathic medicine is very weak in treating. You do a lot better with alternative treatments, whether it be Ayurvedic medicine, Chinese medicine, homeopathic. There's so many other approaches to a lot of the chronic conditions. Diet, for sure, that most doctors don't know anything about. Nothing. Doctors don't have a high life expectancy. They basically today are becoming more distrusted than ever. I don't trust the medical doctors anymore. I'm not even going to see a medical doctor unless I absolutely need one. And for cases of emergency and trauma, of course, can't beat them. The medical system, allopathic system is great for that kind of thing. If you're in a car accident, you've got a whiplash, you've got a broken arm, that's where you want to be, in a hospital trauma room, be taken care of, get some treatment. And, generally they're pretty good at that, generally. But chronic conditions is a whole nother story. And the United States today has got chronic problems. Chronic problems. They've not just started overnight. They've been going on for the last 100, 200, 300, you can go back to the beginning of the country. There have been problems with this ruling class and the way it's treated the people down below, the middle class and, of course, the poor, who also get the short end of the stick. But the poor, at least nowadays, get a lot of government freebies and handouts, and they can even get free health care through Medicaid and things like this. And I know people who actually abuse that, who call the doctor once a week for a runny nose, a hangnail, and have an ambulance come out. I know people like that. I'm not going to name names, but there are people who do that sort of thing, abuse it. Not all poor people are bad people. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all. But there are poor people in the lower income that they manipulate and use the system just as bad as anybody at the top. It's the middle class that's taken the brunt of the harm today, basically. They're not seeing any increase in their wages, although they create most all the wealth is created on the backs of the middle class. So I think today you just have to be smart. You have to, self-preservation in survival in a way, as much as trying to actually aspire to something and move forward with some kind of progress and achievement. It's getting more and more difficult to do that economically unless you happen to come across some kind of a business on the internet. That's becoming the new big thing now. It's not new, but it's been going on quite a while. That people are making lots and lots of money through the internet while it lasts, while this current internet lasts. It may not last that much longer. We may see it all be crushed, taken down, some what they call 3 days of darkness. It could be a week, could be 3 weeks. We don't know. But there'll be a period where they were going to claim that North Korea, China, Russia has attacked the United States in a massive cyber attack, and it's caused us to have to shut the internet down. That's what the government's going to tell us. And when it comes back up, it's going to be a different internet. There's going to be a lot different restrictions and controls over people, way more than we have right now. As bad as it is now, it's going to be a lot worse, I'm afraid. There's also this notion and idea that there may be another alternate internet that will come out that will be actually a good one, a better one, a more fair and honest one, a decent one that works the way we always thought it should work, most of us, and does it today. And I don't know. I don't have the answers on that. I don't know. I'm not a futurist that can give you these kind of visionary predictions as to what's going to happen. But I do know that we have to get back to the core of who we are. We are essentially spiritual beings that have come on earth for a while to have a human experience. Those of us that are aware of what it's like to live in 5-dimensional consciousness, we're working that way. We're working towards that. We're doing that more and more often. And that means releasing the fear, the doubt, the paranoia, the anger, the hate, the resentment, all of the basically what we would think of as negative emotions, but the emotions that cloud our judgment and our ability to use discernment, and allow us to have our hearts open so that we can be the fully functioning people that we're here to be, we're meant to be, we were born to be. We got corrupted somewhere along the way in life, and it started very early for most of us. And I will tell you, the systems of the world that provide so-called education, whether it's through schools, through churches, and other organizations, Boy Scouts, you can name many different organizations that contribute. And I'm not bad-mouthing the Boy Scouts in particular. I'm just saying there's many, many clubs and organizations and fraternities and groups that basically have an agenda. Each one has its own purpose and agenda. And the fact that people become brainwashed and conditioned throughout their lifetime, they lose sense of touch of who they really are here on the heart. So my message tonight is just that don't be stupid. I mean, I've been stupid a lot of my life. I first admit it. And now I'm trying to crawl out of that hole of being stupid and be smarter, get smarter every day. It's an ongoing process. You never just rest on your laurels and say, I'm so smart now, I don't need to know anything. I think the really smart person knows they want to keep learning until the day they're not here anymore in human form on earth. That's my goal, to continue learning every day of my life, and I do learn something new every day. I know I'm not learning anything valuable from watching the media, the television today. It's just loaded with propaganda and lies. So don't go down that slippery slope. Do yourself a favor. Find a spiritual path or life for yourself that works, whatever that might be. There's countless millions. Be creative. Create your own in your own way. But read some good books along the way too. I recommend that. There's lots of good books out there still that will inspire you and inform you. And I wish you all the very best. And let's just keep this thing going. Stay connected, friends and neighbors, brothers and sisters. Namaste.